the walk, and you can explore any number of virtual paradises in your tons of free time, a lot of the traditional historic motivations for going off to a new colony are not as strong. On the other hand, a general belief that too much technology and easy living is unhealthy for you, and not something you want your kids exposed to either, is a very good motivation to pack up for the frontiers where you'll live on your wits and skills and hard work. In that regard, it's actually very easy for me to imagine that an awful lot of future colonies will be founded by folks who have some negative views on technology, or certain technologies, and one would expect them to tend to group together by which technologies they dislike and what philosophy motivates that dislike, with the intent of founding a world that will be governed by that attitude. Now that said, I don't think the future of a galactic humanity is a billion primitive worlds, even for a given value of primitive, since the hypothetical technophobes might regard our modern world as too primitive. It's popular in sci-fi to show colony worlds abandoning or losing their technology, sometimes both, like in Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Porn series, where they're meant to be modestly lower tech, but got forced by disaster to be even lower tech. I don't see that happening much. We worried about generation ships losing technology en route, but that was mostly due to them being far too small in population and resources to rediscover anything they lost, or even really have the numbers to maintain a vast host of specialty skills. A planet is a bit different. That's part of why we suggested them as intergalactic colony ships and planet ships last week. They do have the space and resources to support a civilization able to relearn things from scratch. Indeed, any world that goes too primitive isn't even going to be able to retain a prohibition on technology. As we mentioned in Cyclic Apocalypses, a culture has to work very hard to erase all signs of technology, and while that's lessened on a new world without technological artifacts left all over the place, you still have to be able to keep records of why you banned technology and maintain a global civilization unified enough to allow an orthodoxy enforcing those prohibitions, particularly considering any breakaway culture that re-embraces technology is going to start gaining benefits that make them economically and militarily hard to coerce from outside. And of course, folks will rationalize why this particular new and useful tech should be an exception to the rules. The other point about primitivism is if you are living on a space habitat, or even a terraformed planet, there is probably some form of technology in place that maintains the environment. While that technology is probably largely self-maintaining, we currently have no examples of completely autonomous self-repairing technology that can exist for millennia. That might necessitate a base level of technology required for existence. So folks opting for primitivism might donate their child to their Temple of Maintainers, much as people did in years gone by, and even practice today in some places of donating children to the higher calling of the Church. The Temple of Maintainers would be tasked with training technicians and conducting the rituals of keeping the lights on in service to the machine god. Unlike with other religious orders of the past though, if the temple was abandoned, the vengeance of the machine god will play out in the form of failing life support systems, and everyone dies becomes a very real existential problem. So you probably can't maintain such a tech ban for very long beneath a certain level of technology, and even then it's likely to erode over time, and even centuries mean nothing in the grand scheme of galactic colonization, particularly since you're likely to eventually get neighbors who show up and might view your primitivism as oppressive and unethical, or just don't feel obliged to get your permission to show up and trade knowledge or devices. They might even do as Admiral Perry did with Japan, and just show up with a fleet one day, and in such cases, assuming they didn't conquer you overtly, you're likely to have internal pressures to modernize to defend yourselves, a lesser of evil situation again. Fundamentally, while I can see plenty of colonies setting up as techno-primitives, at least relative to their motherland, I can't see them staying that way in the long term, unless it turns out too much technology really is a bad thing, and even then it would be hard to do. Of course, to be fair, the major motivation for such places tends to be a belief that hard work and challenge is fundamental to being a good human, so they might embrace that aspect of it. And while neither I, nor I assume most of my audience is technophobic, I doubt I'm alone in agreeing with that basic principle, that those struggles and challenges, and the push to overcome them, are a significant part of what defines us and lets us grow. For my part though, I remain confident that at least for the foreseeable future, we've got plenty of character-building hard work to do, and I don't think more technology will change that anytime soon. Just change what specific tasks and skills and challenges we have. We were talking about skills a lot today, and an important takeaway is realizing that we've always been a skills-based culture. Those skills have just changed a lot over the centuries. Of course, these days, they aren't even changing with each generation, they change almost every year. I don't need to tell anyone here that having lots of skills and
How do we go about this?
You walk in the front door and finish the job.
Lehet, hogy kicsit hangos lesz. Látom. Kéne lenni a repülőnek, mindent át kell küldenem az ex. Mi az, ami nem kell? Ezeket kell lecsenni Drake-re, és akkor...
Liked it better that way. Istanbul is Constantinople, now it's Istanbul and Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks.
Mennyi plazmatól? Gerrier nem adott Extreme Alien Control System-et, az van. Komoly, ehhez egy terrort kell leszednem. Jó, bazd meg. Viccen kívül a Sentinel jobb, mint az Reaper. Nem. Reaper sokkal erősebb. Sokkal erősebb. Jó, azért. Az 5 liter kell legalább. A szócsó. Gyors.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all.
Talán van még
Only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie, and beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me.
Szerintem a sima fightereket le fogom szerelni.
I'm only human. It's all it takes to put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet.
Innen kiszedek 2 fightert.
You should go.
Behozok 2 Drake-et.
only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me.
Elég föltölteni
Don't
a
put the
gyerek.
blame on me. I'm only human. I do what I can. I'm just a man. I do what I can. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
Music is a really important part of the show.
Rigo took a tremendous musical leap. I got to work with Timbaland. That alone still makes no sense to me. Like, what?
Step Up High Water. All episodes now streaming. Only on YouTube.
I was in the heather when this lass came by upon a motorbike. She was dressed in leather and she had the kind of kilt I kind of like. And she asked me to her cottage for some haggis and some tea, and asked me if there's any men at home that look like me. And we did the Scottish temple stomp, and this is how it sounded to me. Oh, I love a good old piper. Blow and use your fingers. You too, Steve.
Ja, Drake leváltja a Foxtrotot meg a Fightert egyszerre. Tehát amire Foxtrot is akarok küldeni Drake-et is. Még tudok jó párat csinálni. Amit is fogok.
You're gonna try and marry me. We frolicked in the foothills and I kissed her on the mouth. She grabbed my massive bagpipes and rode off to the south. I could have caught that ferry, but
Jöjjön 2.
and we did the Scottish temple stomping. This is how it sounds if you're a me.
Ezt átküldöm máshol, majd nem akartam most. Innen a... Jön 2. Ezt meg legyen mindenképp. Ja.
The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson in Scotland.
What to do, everybody? And now for your late night entertainment.
Még van itt Foxtrot. Harold Redmond. Eredetileg csak a szondák tudják esélyesen kinyírni, és az csak középen van. Szondák kerér, oké. Hosszánsz fognak megint.
Ryan Hansen solves crimes on television, season 2. My show is a meta comedy about show business.
You're not here to ask me to do a cameo, are you?
No cameos.
Guest starring Stephen Merchant, Thomas Lennon, Lucy Hale, Gillian Bell, Jane Lynch, Dax Shepard, Ken Marino, Joel McHale, Rhys Darby, Ben Schwartz, John Cryer, Rob Corddry, Samira Wiley, Tim Matheson, Tim Meadows, Donald Faison, Jessica St. Clair, and Wood Harris.
You son of a b****, you've tricked me. This is a cameo, isn't it?
Ryan Hansen solves crimes on television, season 2, streaming now with YouTube.
Ennyi lettek baszki.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jordan.
Terror viszont range-ben van.
Awesome. And I'm Benny. Yeah, we've been a comedy rock band for close to 40
Egy
years now.
bomber.
And all that time, we've never had a hit. And I'll just...
Yeah, but you guys know why?
Why?
Because we never wrote a four-chord
Ez
song.
is valószínűleg
What's that? What's a
bomber.
four-chord song, Benny?
Well, if you want all the greatest hits from the past 40 years, just use four chords. Same four chords for every song. It's dead simple to write a pop hit.
Just four?
Yeah, these four. Here. 1, 2, 3,
Én más nem, csak a
Sorry, let me
nagy
give you
dolog.
straight, Chicken Little. What you're trying to say is you can take those four chords, repeat them, and pump out every pop song ever. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Fuck
Saját
off.
viszont
Yeah, fuck
megnyílom.
off, Chicken Little.
Just listen.